Hi, my friends, it's Madam Maledicta. I swore that I was not getting on talking about much today, except for that I was going to talk about stuff to calm all of us down in the face of global panic. With tariffs announced for the entire world from the United States, what we're looking at is possibly a global depression. And that is a depressing thought. We're also looking at people all over the world canceling their trips to the U.S. because the U.S. isn't a safe place to be anymore. They're detaining people for their tattoos. They're detaining people for saying stuff on social media. This isn't right. We have to make this stop. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here in the face of chaos to say, let's be calm. Let's just do calm things and be calm. So I'm here to read you off some stuff that I used to calm myself. That I used to read to my daughter to calm her when she was little. That I used musically to calm myself. And thoughts for how am I going to survive if there are terrorists on everything? How are we going to eat? There are ways. You just plan yourself some permaculture. And remember that you can garden and you are resilient. Anyone can get potting soil and pots and save food scraps and make a garden. Anyone. Anywhere in the world. All it takes is just trusting nature to know that you can survive. There are literally, I have a list here, this is where we'll start, of 40 different things, 41 actually, that you can start, that you can regrow from food scraps. 41 foods that you can regrow from food scraps. And we all have leftover food scraps when we prepare food. That is, if you prepare food. And I say right now, if you don't prepare food, it's time to learn. It's time to start. And it's easy enough, so let's do it. Let's talk about this. Vegetables that you can regrow from scraps. I'm going to read you the list. Carrots, parsnips, celery, garlic, kohlrabi, lettuce, bok choy, green onion, radishes, ginger, sweet potatoes, rutabagas, shallots, turmeric, peppers from their seeds, potatoes, onion, tomato from the seeds, beets, cabbage, and turnips. Let's talk about that pepper and tomato from their seeds. So all of these, here is the precursor to all of this. Get these organic from the farmer's market or from an organic market, because we all know if Monsanto's had their hands on it, it won't regrow. But you can regrow it from scraps as long as it's organic. So get your food organic, and then you can grow them from scraps from any of the things that I just read off to you. Tomatoes and peppers especially. Here's how you do it. You know how you core a pepper? You cut off the top and there's seeds inside. What you do is you take that top with the seeds and you dry it on a piece of paper towel. With the tomato, what you do is you cut off the top and you gore out the seed gunk and you dry that out on a paper towel. It takes about 3 days. And then once that's done, you throw that in some soil about an inch deep, and within I would say 2 weeks, you'll have sprouts. Water that, put it in some full sun, and you'll have pepper and tomato plants. By the time, I think 2 months goes by, you'll have a pretty decent plant. As for the rest of these, carrots, you can cut off the green tops that have the leaves, and those will grow. Parsnips, same. Celery, if you slice off the bottom of the celery, you can grow it from its root. What you do is you just leave that celery out in a little shallow dish of water, and pretty soon there's a little sprout that'll come up from the middle, and then you plant that. As soon as it's got a couple little roots on it, and pretty soon you'll have your own celery plant. Garlic, what you want to do is you want to grab the bottom where it's got the little, it looks like it's got little hairs or something growing out of it. Those are roots. What you want to do is you want to take that and take a couple of cloves of garlic out and then put the rest of it in water. When it starts to sprout, it'll sprout green shallot-looking things off the top of it. Then you'll know that roots are growing and you can plant it in the ground or in fertile soil. Kohlrabi and lettuce, as well as bok choy, you just cut off the leaves that you're going to use and use that end just like the celery. Put it in a shallow dish and let it grow a couple roots. Pretty soon you'll see a little sprout coming out of the middle. Plant that and you'll have a full plant. Onions, you can actually take an entire onion that's starting to go bad, weirdly enough, and you can put it in water and it'll sprout out the top of it. And then you can use those sprouts that come off the top as your green onion. Or you can go get the tiny green onions that you get in the store and just put them in a dish of water and they will just grow. And then you just slice off the top of them and they'll keep growing. It's the greatest, most regenerative plant. It really is. Radishes, you could do the same thing. You could use the leafy top to grow a plant out of that. Ginger, what you want to do is you want to dry that ginger root out, use part of it in your food, and then use part of the root, dry it out for somewhere from 2 to 4 weeks. Once it starts to shrivel and get dry, then you want to put it in the dirt. You want to put it about 2 inches down, and then just water it and wait for sprouts. And what you'll have is a gorgeous ginger plant, which you can use the leaves, you can use the stems, you can use part of the root when the plant gets big enough. I had a ginger plant, we loved it. Its name was Marianne. Till it got like this nasty wilt stuff, this nasty plant virus, and then it died. But we loved Marianne dearly. And watered it and pet it and called it Marianne and yeah, gave it a name and everything. Loved that plant. You can do this with sweet potatoes. If you have a sweet potato with an eye, go ahead and slice off that part with the eye and let it dry out. Then throw it in your garden. Pretty soon you'll have a plant. As long as it has water, it'll root. And it grows beautiful vines and these gorgeous purple flowers. Gorgeous purple flowers. Shallots you plant just like an onion, or just put it in water and it'll sprout. And then you can get the tops, which are shallot tops, and those are absolutely wonderful in potatoes and things like that. And you don't even have to use the root. Turmeric, plant the same as ginger. And let's see, beets, you plant the same way, the tops of it. And pretty soon you'll get a beet plant, but you've got to make sure it's got the leaves. Cabbage, you use just like lettuce. Take off the top 3/4, and then throw that cabbage bottom in shallow water and wait for it to root. This is how you grow things from scraps. And you can grow all sorts of vegetables. But there's more that you can grow. There's actually more that you can grow from kitchen scraps. You can grow citrus from the seeds. And we actually have some of those growing in our house. We have little citrus seeds. We've got lemon, grapefruit, and kumquat. Kumquat grows really well from seeds and grows really well indoors. So does bergamot lime. Just a word to the wise. No matter where you are, even in Colorado, I was able to grow bergamot lime. So, word to the wise. Pineapple tops will grow. You can take the top 1/4 of a pineapple that's got the very spiky leaves. Take it and just plant it. Just throw it on top of the dirt. It'll put down roots. Keep watering it. It's a bromeliad, and so the pineapple will just keep growing. Pumpkin, you can grow that from the seeds. You just gore it out, dry out the seeds, and then plant those. And they come up with pumpkin sprouts. And pumpkin sprouts are really awesome if you have a lot of them for salads. You can grow strawberries from the seeds. And what you want to do with that is just slice that strawberry in half, dry it out on a paper towel for about 2 weeks, and then plant that whole thing. And it uses the decaying fruit material as fertilizer. Avocados you can grow from seed. I wouldn't try to recommend that. I only know one person who has grown an avocado from the seed, and that's my boyfriend because he's super caring with them. But he has many. We have many avocado plants all over our house that he grew from the avocado seed. Melon you can grow from seeds. Mango you can grow from its seed. Really what you want to do is gore off the fruit, dry that out for 2 weeks on a paper towel, and then stuff that down in the dirt. Make sure the top of it is about 1 inch down. Water it, wait for sprouts, and pretty soon you'll have a mango plant. Now, with mango, you got to keep it really moist. So you got to make sure that it's got water, and make sure that if you live in an arid area, that you have a humidifier that goes, and that plant will go nuts. My Aunt Terry used to do that. She owned a greenhouse in California, and she grew mangoes all the time from their seeds. You can grow winter squash from their seeds as well, just like melons or anything else, or strawberry. Just gore those out, dry them out on a paper towel, plant them after about a week or two, and then water and wait for sprouts. And then, let's see, there's herbs you can regrow from scraps as well. You can grow mint from scraps. So what you want to do is you want to take one of the strands of mint you have, strip off the bottom leaves, and throw the whole stem in some water and wait for it to root. Then you put that in some dirt and it'll spread. Mint spreads. Same with marjoram, basil, thyme, rosemary, oregano, sage, lemongrass. And lemongrass, what you want to do is just cut off the top and then take that little root, stick it in some water, let it grow some more roots, and then stick it back in some dirt, and it'll keep growing for you. Cilantro, you can do the same with that as you can with mint. You can do this with lemon balm and with parsley. And parsley you also do like mint. And like mint, cilantro and parsley will spread. So, isn't that awesome? And the takeaway is that you can have a whole garden with these 41 plants. Calming, isn't it? When you think about global food shortages, is that calming? I hope so. It is to me, and that's what I use to calm myself when I'm like, I'm so poor, I'm not going to eat. And that's the thing that I use to keep myself from despairing. Let's see, what else? I use poetry to keep myself from despairing. I have lots of favorite poems, and I love to read them. And here's the radio static. Oh, radio static, I'm sorry. If you're getting radio static, I'm not sure why, but I don't know. Would you turn into the stream and just see if it's radio static? Yeah, I will just have someone check very fast. Thank you for telling me it is I. I appreciate that. I do very much appreciate that. And while I'm having someone check, let's have a little bit of my tea here. That's another way I used to call myself. I have a fantastic green tea that I have my boyfriend make me some Earl Grey with some sweet cream. If you don't have sweet cream, you can make it. It's easy. You just take half and half and add sugar, and that's how you make sweet cream. Yeah, we buy it because they sell it like that for as much as half and half. So why not? But that's a wonderful way to drink Earl Grey. Is there static? Okay. Well, and while I'm waiting, since I just don't care which is in the calm, I'm saying that today, if you smoke, smoke. Like, it's hard to get away from that. I'm doing that. I have a vape. I have quit. I quit smoking my clothes. Aren't you proud of me? I got a bunch of flavored vapes, and now I'm just doing the vape thing. And you can do that indoors and not have to go outside, and that's wonderful for me because it rains here where I am all the time. So I would rather not go outside if I can help it. Okay, so let's go for a little bit of poetry here. So one of the poems that I use to calm myself is Love and Death by Yeats. And I love this poem. And, do you love Yeats? I love Yeats. That's my favorite poet. Yeats. I love some of Allen Ginsberg's stuff. And I deeply love some Rudyard Kipling as well. But Yeats is my favorite. So Love and Death. And I'll read it to you. Behold the flashing waters, a cloven dancing jet, that from the milk-white marble forever foam and fret. Far off in drowsy valleys, where the meadow saffrons blow, the feet of summer dabble in their coiling calm and slow. The banks are worn forever by a people sadly gay. A Titan with loud laughter made them of fire and clay. Go ask the springing flowers and the flowing air above, what are the twin-born waters? And they'll answer, death and love. With wreaths of withered flowers, two lonely spirits wait. With wreaths of withered flowers, for paradise's gate. They may not pass the portal, poor earth-kindled pair, though sad as many a spirit, to pass and leave them there, still staring at their flowers, that dull and faded are. If one should rise beside thee, the other is not far. Go ask the youngest angel, she will say with bated breath, by the doors of Mary's garden are the spirits, love, and death. Sorry, I get myself all worked up. I've loved that poem for a long time. Because it's beautiful. Alright, here's one. If, by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head about you, I'll start over. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated. Sorry. It's hard to read. My apologies. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting. Sorry. Or being lied about. Don't deal with this. Or being hated. Don't give me the hate. And yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster. And treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Obviously, I'm not having an easy time with this. I shouldn't have read it, but whatever, we'll go on. Or watch the things you gave your life to broken. Anyway, watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make a heap of all your winnings and risk it all on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve you long after they are gone, and hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says that. Sorry, my people. It's a hard poem to read. Because it's all been true of my life. And so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, my man, you'll be a man, my son. Well, that's the one thing I'm not a man, but that poem is so really ouch, it's hard to read. Okay, I'm going on. Yeah, poetry actually does come for me, but so does crying, so there we go. Alright, and then there's a poem that used to hang on my grandma's wall that I have gotten much comfort from over my years. And I have memorized it many times, but I'm going to go ahead and read it to you because I always get it wrong too. So this is Max Ehrman and his Desiderata. Sorry. The world's a mess. And it's getting me too. And I do this as much to cover myself as I do to try and, talk to the world, but I'm not doing so good at that. It's a very sad day. It's a very dark day. But we have to go on. We have to go on. And so we do. And our poetry and our gardens and our calming things are the things that bring us to a place where we can. So, the Desiderata. Go placidly amongst the noise, amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant, which is hard these days, right? But they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. Keep interested in your career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Sorry, Fred, sorry. That's bad. Anyway, okay, I'm going on. I'm just thinking about everybody who's lost. It's so much. The world is a mess today. It's a mess. Alright, we can go on. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Even when it seems like there's none, right? Let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals. And everywhere. Life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love. For the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Perennial as the grass. Sorry, my friends. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe no less than the trees and the stars, and you have a right to be here. And whether or not it's clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations. In the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. And finally, the last one. Man, can I make it through any of them? Jeez, but this one I can make it through. This one I have memorized like the back of my hand. And this is Ada Wishes for the Claws of Heaven by Yeats. I love this poem. This one's my favorite. Had I the heavens' embroidered claws, enwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark claws of night and light and of the half-light, I would spread the cloths under your feet, but I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread upon my dreams. Yeah, that was hard, right? All of it was freaking hard. Yeah, I read that. Thank you. All right. So, I don't know if this video is going to exist much longer than this, but it might as well. It might halfway anyway. I might just edit it and edit out all my crying. So I was going to go over 5 independent albums that I use to comfort myself in times when I am really freaked out and not doing great. So let's go over that. I've got them up on Bandcamp. I'll show them to you here. All right, here we go. Number 1, Seeds by Quaalude. Oh, how I love this album. This is technically witch wave, but it sounds a whole lot like, I don't know. It reminds me of like Deep Forest. Reminds me of lots of 90s new age type techno music. Seeds. This is a fantastic album from start to finish. So good. So that's number 1. And let's see. Let me see if I can get it. Number 2, Skin Shapes Phylloxeny. Oh my god, this album. This has got to be one of my favorite albums of all time. Phylloxeny. This is the fantasticness of Will Dorey in the UK. And this is just a really masterful album, well sung with beautiful, fantastic instrumentation. I recommend every track on it. They're all perfect. And then, let's see. Go forward here. I clearly use the search. Taint Town by Many Voices Speak. I have used this to comfort me in so many very distressing situations. This is a lovely album. And every bit of music that Many Voices Speak from Stockholm, Sweden makes is a beautiful masterpiece, but every song on this is just, it's perfect. This is a perfect album. And I have other Many Voices Speak albums, but this one's my favorite. Many Voices Speak, I recommend them highly. And then Deserta. Oh, I love Deserta. But I especially love their first album, Black Aura, My Son. Black Aura, My Son is also a perfect album from start to finish. This is dream pop shoegaze, more dream pop than shoegaze, really, and 7 perfect, beautifully mastered, and beautifully executed tracks. And I love Deserta. Everything they've ever done is a masterpiece, but this album certainly, it takes the cake. And then the Portico Quartet, Knee Deep in the Northern Sea. The Portico Quartet is amazing. So they're one of the only jazz quartets I've ever heard that uses marimba and kettle drums. And every track on this is just beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. There are live tracks on it. I'm personally not about live music, but I'm about this live music because these are recorded live, but they're improvised and fantastic. This is 13 tracks of jazz perfection, Knee Deep in the Northern Sea by the Portico Quartet. And those are my 5 independent albums that I turn to for comfort and support. And you can get all of those on Bandcamp, and they're wonderful. So, all right, that is, I think, as much as I can handle for today. So, thank you if you've joined me, and I do appreciate all of you for being here, for bearing with me as I cried through some poetry. I only cry because it's super meaningful, and it has been a comfort to me in times when I have nothing, literally nothing to hang on to but that. So it's been very, very meaningful to me, and that's the only reason I cry for it, because I love it that much. So here's hoping that you're able to get through today without crying at a bunch of stuff. Boy, that was like the time that I wasn't supposed to, but here we are. That's what it is. Alright, I'm Maledicta. I'm bidding you a fond adieu for right now because I don't think I can do any more, but thanks for being here.